please stand for prayer. Let's pray, O Lord,
that we who serve people in public office may have your blessings and guidance on our deliberations and decisions, so that what we accomplish here this evening will be just and beneficial to the people we serve. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I guess we don't have minutes from last meeting. I'm sure it open. I mean, I don't know how many times everybody here hears me beating in their head that I want them minutes for Friday before the meeting. I guess I might as well talk to the wall sometimes. But, we can get in trouble with that. You know, if anybody, if you get audited, you don't have minutes, you could be in trouble. But we really got to emphasize it. We all got to stick together on this. And we'll have to do what we have to do. A few minutes.
Is she not coming at all now?
She's positive. She's totally positive.
Oh.
She's a cooker. I think she is. She was an 8 or something.
Okay, any petitions and communications?
I don't think so.
Okay. I've been thinking about this, you know, I talked over with Bob, and I see a lot of our employees going around without a mask on, especially the guys in the Packer or pickup. You know, 3 guys sitting in front together and around the garage, down the sewer plant, water plant. So I hope, I mean, this is what the letter I'm going to send out to all the departments. Due to the recent outbreak of COVID-19 cases in the county and within our department, I am initiating a mask wearing policy for all village employees. If you are working outdoors and are not within 6 feet of another person, a mask is not required. If you have any interaction with the public, you must wear a mask. If you are indoors and within 6 feet of another person, you must wear a mask. If you are in your office with no person within 6 feet, a mask is not mandatory. If you leave your office, you must wear a mask. Bottom line is, if you are within 6 feet of another individual, you are required to wear a mask. Does anybody have a comment? Yes.
No, I got it.
Oh,
I was waiting for Willie.
I'd like, last week, a couple guys come in picking up trash from people doing work here. They didn't have a mask on. It says right in our own employees, you guys, you gotta have a mask on. Well, I don't have, and they're up in the garage, and we got thousands of masks. And, I know it's hard to wear them, I can't stand them either, but hopefully we can put a dent in this, and we've had a lot of employees do that, either dinner or
5 or 6 people.
and I know, Brandon, now you have some trouble over there with your people not wanting to wear them. But, we had other part-timers.
Yeah.
So, we got to do our part. Any questions or? Yeah, agree.
I mean, especially with the investment we made in all the masks we bought, I mean, there's no reason not to put them to use. I mean, plus, to show as an example out in the community, like you said, when they're riding the Packer and they're out, I mean, the citizens probably see them and think, geez, these guys are running around not even a mask on, they help in the truck together and things, so.
It's still to a point when I can tell you, in fact, there's still a point, people don't think, and I was the same way, but this is true. This is a real thing. More and more it's hitting close to home. So,
Definitely.
and, our fire chief can tell you he's been on a lot of calls with it. So, and on another thing, we had the quiet light up night, which I was on, I missed it. people commented they wish we had a thing which hopefully next year we can make it bigger and better and do things. But down the road, I know it's going to be tough, but I always had a goal of trying to get new Christmas decorations. I've had these ones for years, getting old. And we could do something where we can find some way to get it.
Scott Bell Castro
Scott,
from
yeah,
Trey
that's what I
Bell,
was gonna say.
I know, I've got to get him again. He didn't,
he offered that years ago.
yeah, he didn't live up to it though when I asked him.
He
So I called his bluff a while
conveniently
back.
forgot, huh?
Called his bluff a while back, and I haven't heard anything since, so we'll work on that for sure.
They even, just to help out a bit, not saying they put it, put the full bill, but it'd be nice for them to help
I'm
out.
sure he's making enough money off of us, having both electric and gas from us, so.
Yeah.
Which Bob's going to say in his report, and we still keeping on the senior center. Bob?
What's that?
Thank you, senior center.
Yeah, well, Jack's said he had a couple.
So go ahead, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, as far as the CARES Act, it is done now. We did receive an additional $13,693.84. So we was a very good village because we was able to basically make sure we spent all the initial money that we got from CARES. So my understanding is I told Kim, one of the biggest things is really look at the wages we're losing as far as people, on COVID. So it can help us out with our budgets. And I think that she said the majority, if not all of it, went for wages. So I don't have the exact number that she has, but the majority of that did go towards wages, people missing because of COVID.
Did we ever get anything in writing, like a policy put together or anything, as far as, how to address these folks, or, what the
No,
expectations
I called
are?
Jefferson County, and I had her call a couple other places, okay?
Yeah.
According to the House bill that they have, if anything's associated with COVID, they must be paid.
Yeah.
And something came up about part-time. And I don't think that matters, part-time or not part-time. I think that everybody, if they have the COVID or whatever is associated with the COVID, they have to be paid.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know what kind of policy we want to come up with
Except
as
as
far
far
as.
as,
Well,
Proven
I got
test
the standards,
results.
I got the standards upstairs also that I got from the Jefferson County.
Yeah.
And, because we had an issue, like if it's the police or the fire department. Okay, if they get COVID, they have to go home. They can't be working.
yeah, no
If
question.
they've been around somebody, they can still come to work wearing a mask, okay? Now, that's, for essential personnel, I'm hoping that our leaders out there are gonna make a call as far as if they need them to come to work. I'm hoping Brandon's gonna make that call, I'm hoping the chief, Mackenzie's gonna make that call. But if they have it, they have to stay home, okay?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we could adopt the policy, we could try to put something in writing with that, but, I think we've already set a precedence, honestly, as far as paying these folks.
Yeah.
Now, we did use the COVID money this time, but really, the House bill states if it's COVID related, that you have to pay it.
Yeah.
You can't make them take vacation. And at this point in time, I don't think we could really do that, and I don't think it'd be fair to anybody,
Right.
But I think that we really have to look hard at those folks, the fire department and the police department as essential personnel. And I think that maybe you guys can help me with some type of policy there, as far as who should be coming in, who should. I think it's pretty simple though, really.
I did speak with, last meeting, to speak with the area fire departments and personnel. Spoke with Cumberland Trail Fire District there, they're making them use their vacation sick time.
They're making them use it?
I do know right now.
Really?
I do know now the city of Steubenville Fire Department has over a dozen personnel positive and off. They have to use their sick time, vacation time, and that's it. They don't get paid anything but.
Well, I tell you right now, that's not what I was told. So, and if they're doing that, I don't know if they're violating anything, but I will recheck that because according to the House bill, they've got to be paid.
See, that's my understanding was too, and I know that it can fall underneath workers' compensation. Like,
I will check that out. I will check that out even further because, I mean, we don't want to violate anything, that's for sure. And we'll have to go back if if that is the case,
I don't mind either way, I just want to make sure we have something in writing, so if something does come back on us down the road, and either way, we say, hey, we had our policies spelled out early on, this is what we were gonna do, and that's that, you know, there's no, refuting it or no even discussing it, it's just, it is what it is, this is our policy, and that's that.
I didn't talk to Member Mattis, I talked to one of the guys, he actually works part-time here in the studio, and he had to drop some equipment off, to be refrigerated, and I asked him today, and I said, "So what is it?" And he was like, "Well, we have to use our sick, vacation, we have to use everything."
we'll check into that. If that's the case, I mean, we've already started paying these guys, we'll have to basically renege a little bit on what we're saying.
Just want it spelled out, and I would want to avoid any abuse of the,
Well, that's the thing I'm worried about right there, and to do so.
Is there paperwork that tells you that this person has COVID or this person?
It's supposed to be reported to the county, they're supposed to have official paperwork, and they're supposed to call.
They notified me.
Yeah, they're supposed to call.
And I have a letter for each of my personnel that was positive, and when they can come back to work, and when they tested positive, when they had symptoms. And I was on a conference call every day with the health department.
And they're pretty backed up, that's why with Fred, that's why, I talked to the lady today, and I told her, I talked to Fred, I actually called him, that's when he said you would know the people, because those are the folks that were at the card party, I guess, down there. Okay, we'll have to refine that, we'll just have to make sure we do have a policy in place, something in writing. Number two is we were just talking about the estimates. We've kind of slowed down, of course, I mean, with the meter install. We probably won't be doing any meter install really here real soon, just, we don't want to take that chance. The Nature Works grant, we got reimbursed, got $19,000 back just the other day. And it's a 75-25 grant. So I did go ahead and purchase some bleachers, which will make us use pretty much the whole grant up. So they're like $7,700 left. So not a bad deal, to get all that work done, 25% out of the village. As I told you before, Fred contracted COVID-19, and it's very much concerns me, especially being down at the senior center. I think the next time, this should be the blanket. I'll talk to the mayor about this. I don't want to speak out of turn. When we close down a building, we'll close it. I don't want to take anything. The senior center, we kind of him-hawed with that senior center, and those folks down there are the most susceptible to have problems. And I just think from now on, no matter if we've got this place rented out or whatever else, it's done. We're done. Because that falls back on us. We allow people to have meetings down here and whatever else, and somebody gets sick, that falls back on us. Everybody else is canceling. I think we close down. I'll talk to the mayor. You might not think the same way I do about it, but I think that we need to come to a consensus that we just shut everything down. And I think now is we need to start really shutting everything down because it's getting worse. It's not getting any better. Once we knock that curve off, flatten that curve, as they say, maybe we start talking about opening things back up.
Oh, are you talking about everything on the street?
Oh, no. I don't have authority to that. We don't have no authority to
Oh,
that.
okay.
I'm just talking about our buildings like this. Like down here, we don't rent this out. The senior center's closed. We don't have any gatherings, no nothing.
Okay.
So,
I don't even know why you thought they'll even open it back up again.
we had it sprayed down. We did all this and that, and, I'll just leave it at that. Mask policy, the mayor just talked about it. I do have the guidance on COVID-19. I got handouts I'm going to give to everybody to take to their garages and things like that so they can put it up. We're going to have the storm sewer separation. We're going to start tearing up our roads a little bit, okay? Mainly over by Murdoch and St. Clair and all that over in that area. We got a lay down area, so just want to let you all know that there will be some, probably in about 2 or 3 weeks, they'll start to lay some pipe. And that'll be the last phase of putting our EQ tank in. Timmy contacted Kenny Corn about Nestler over there, SATs, so we're working on getting that cut. And we just used some chips to smooth out some streets, 2nd Street and Hall Street. Basically, that's what we've been doing, so. That's all I have.
All right, thank you.
We have no report on a budget or anything for our here. Ernie, you have anything?
No, I don't have anything right now.
Okay. Chief McKenzie, you have anything?
No, sir.
What's going on, you, Brandon?
Yeah, that must be your time's up?
Mayor, I do.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Me and Councilman Gary talked about some streets that possibly need to be one-sided parking. I patrolled around and I wrote down some streets that you might want to take a look at. Parr Avenue, Madison and 200 block, Garfield, Coleman Circle.
Hold on one second. Wait. R 200 block of Garfield?
I'm speaking to that. Parr Avenue,
Uh-huh.
Madison Avenue and the 200 block, Garfield, Coleman Circle, Eleanor, and that's on the 200 block of Eleanor. Mary Ann Place and 100 block of the Center. But I don't think there's really a problem there. 100 block of the Center.
Did you look at Logan? Where it changes from one side to the other?
Watch for those.
That might be something. You know, at least get them all on one side, because you come up, so that everybody's parked on the left, then all of a sudden everybody's parked on the right. You know, and sometimes the way they park, you don't get a lot of room. I don't know that you could even get a fire truck through there a lot of times.
Yeah.
We can make it fit.
Can't be easy.
Can't promise it.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Lloyd. Go ahead, Brandon.
The only thing I have is my guys are all back to work, including the part-timers. Other than that, I looked into that COVID policy with other departments. Yeah, it's going to be a win side here. As far as how we want to proceed, like Bob said, we've already started paying everybody who's COVID positive. I know with my guys, I got notified every day how they were doing. Notified the health department, in writing that they were positive when they come back to work. So I can't say that we do have a lot of positive cases in town. I get an update every morning. We have a lot of people that are positive in town. So I do know that I was a practitioner at Trinity. Trinity is at the max right now. They had put sections in the ER, put patients on ventilators. So it's a fact. So, my guys are all following their mask policy to take them back. So I've not had any issues. Talk to 30, they don't wear masks, they go home. I'm not playing any games. So, EMS billing stopped for December 1st. We go December to December. Tim projected $110,000. We brought in $131,801.33. So EMS billing is more fluent and more accurate. Let's put it this way. So, yeah, big increase for sure. So.
I have a question. You said is it all full-time employees are back, or?
I had 2 full-timers positive, a part-timer positive, and 9 part-timers quarantined.
And all of them are back
All
now?
personnel are back to work.
Okay. And you have, what, 2 full-timers?
I have 2 full-timers.
Are we looking
Oh,
to
yeah,
hire?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
2's gonna be
mean,
hard. Yeah.
First year, I just told Mr. Harry,
Oh,
he was
okay.
talking, and
Yeah.
both departments are short a guy, and we are definitely
Okay.
first of the year.
I was just figuring if while they were off,
Yeah.
if we had more, great. Do we have any applications?
Yes, we do.
Oh, good. Okay.
I think, can you tell me, Brendan, about
5.
5 or 6, yeah.
And you have paramedics?
Hmm.
And you still think we got a shot at part-time paramedics?
Yes and no. I mean, Wintersville's hiring 6 guys and they can't get 6 paramedics to go there 6 o'clock. It's just, I mean, it's a shortage. That's the biggest problem. And now that paramedic classes are all online, it's hard enough to go sit 3 days a week in class. Now it's online, so usually start out with like 25 people. After 2 years, it gets down to maybe 6 or 7. This next class just started, it only started with 6.
Wow.
So I'm sure that's going to be,
Well, the going rate for them, like the high rate is what, 18 to 20 bucks an hour?
give or take, yes.
And that's part-time, right?
Correct.
So we got to get close to somewhere there if we're going to think about picking some of these folks off, right?
Correct.
Remember that for the budget. Mary. We need paramedics, correct?
I'm the only one. I mean,
Yeah, we need
I have
paramedics.
7 part-timers, but I'm the only full-timer.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's, I mean, I'm starting to realize this ain't an easy thing to get paramedics.
I know it's not.
You know, it's like you're just gonna get a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, it's
That's
hard.
not happening.
No. Well, like I said, we got to kick it up.
And now with
Go
what's
after it.
going on in the medical field, we're probably gonna take a beating on this. You
They
know.
have to get creative with negotiations as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got to do something to get these paramedics, and then we can look at what we're going to do with anything else.
Brandon, has anybody give you any insight on when these vaccines are gonna start for
I'm on a conference call every morning when I get here. If it rolls out to the next week, we will start, Mingo Fire can be vaccinated within 4 days. But it's gonna, I guess it's optional, so,
That's a disturbing thing. The majority of the people, even a lot of first responders, were saying they don't want it, they're not going to get it.
I do know that everybody in my department declined it. But in the same sense, there's a lot of side effects to it. You get the vaccine, you need to be off for 3 days because it makes you definitely sick. And then when you go back to the second one, you have to be off again because it makes you fever, body aches. I mean, it really makes you sick. So it's.
I heard that, yeah. But I know you first responders would be the first to get it. All right, thank you, Brandon.
Thank you, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Willie, thank you too.
Did you have anything for the water or sewer?
No, not really. I talked to Wayne today. He's taking half days here and he has to use up some of his vacation.
Yeah.
Nothing pressing.
Do we still have, I know someone said something to me, our webpage, has it ever been updated?
No, well, I told you, I talked to McCushcheck about it. I guess I'm just going to have to tell either Judy or Kim to feed him all the information. Okay?
Somebody asked me not to, unless
I've talked to both Judy and Kim. I will push that again with both of them, just to give him the information on what's going on so he can put it on her. I'm going to talk to them, maybe they can do it themselves too. He is supposed to be the one taking care of it. As when I talked to him, he said, I can't do anything unless I get the information, which is the
Yeah,
truth.
right.
So, I know we talked about this before, I will talk to them again. That's my fault, I didn't push that issue.
It was just brought up, and so.
Sure, Michael will do it. It's just,
Oh, he'll
like you
do
said,
it.
If you don't have any information to go with,
He'll do it.
he can't do it. But he was always
Yeah.
really good about getting it updated. He really took pride in doing that. So,
Yeah, he was pretty good at
Yeah.
a few things.
Okay. Any unfinished business? Committees on, anything on finance? I haven't talked to Jags. Have you talked to him on anything on the charter? You got trouble with anything?
No, I was a little bit worried about wages and water, but it's okay. They were doing so well, they didn't take out Wayne's wages. So we should be okay.
Adam, anything on ordinances?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Let me say something about ordinances. You know, we're gonna have to get them codified, and we really have to sit down again and take care of these ordinances, because I think we got years of ordinances missing, actually, that we cannot
2013
find. And, you know, I know that there's supposed to be, isn't the clerk supposed to have a copy, and we're supposed to have a copy in there. We really need to sit down, Adam, and just get this stuff together and make sure that we got it all here, because,
Before we're on it.
yeah, because it's
Yeah,
just,
if it's 2013, I have most of them.
I think that's the year we
Yeah,
were
well-
They're not,
missing, wasn't it?
as I put it, they're not signed.
yeah, so,
You know, I have the copy that I made when I did it,
The
so I know
master
what
copy
they
before
are.
they were signed, yeah.
and we need to codify them, because I think I did that like 3 or 4 years ago. So
And-
we
and
gotta do it
really-
again.
And Michael helped out big time with that, I remember, yeah.
One of the big things is if you go and look at the ordinances in the file in the clerk's office, not in Kim's office, in the council office, it's a mess.
Yeah, it is, we got,
It is.
yeah, it's gotta get straightened out.
It
I was
really
over
needs
there over
somebody
the
to
weekend.
just go through it
Yep.
and get everything organized a little better.
I looked through them over the weekend.
And I think what happens is people take them out.
Yeah,
People will take out, like, say, the 2008 ordinances. They never put them back in the right spot.
well, you know, first
And
of all,
they're not in any real good order.
you know, people shouldn't be going in there unless they're granted permission to kind of go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where, I don't even know where they're at.
They're right at one of the,
They're in one of
filing
the
cabinet right
clerks,
there
behind
behind,
the clerks.
behind the clerk, or behind where she sits. The individual takes the minutes. So anyhow, Adam, we really, you know, we cleaned them up once a little bit, but the ones in that room are just, okay, that's all I got, I'm sorry.
No, I just wanted, we're going through these committee reports now. Mark, I'm gonna, you know, you're gonna be in a learning process on it, so I'm gonna put you on a couple committees with George was on it. And I'm sort of folks you're with, you know, you'll have committee meetings, you know, which would, everybody's on finance. Everybody's on finance. Put you with Pat and Adam on ordinances, and you'll be with, let's see, where
It'll be on the safety with the
Safety, yeah, that's what I was just,
It'll be on
yeah,
safety.
safety with Jody and economic development with Jody and Pat. And that's it. Well, health and pension with Mr. Herrick and Pat. So, I mean, I'll get you one of these here, put your name in where it's supposed to be. And like I say, the chairman will usually call a meeting, you know, for something comes up. And you got to discuss it. Yeah. So. Let's see, did I ask you anything on ordinances, Adam?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Herrick on safety.
Yeah, Jody Lind and I and Adam, we met Saturday for what, I think an hour and a half. We went up to the Hillsborough area, and I think it was Longview. We wanted to put signs, parking on one side, although the people were pretty good up there about that.
Yeah.
And on that street anyway. Every once in a while,
Somebody sneaks
where
on there.
Dougie Wagner lived in that area, once in a while, somebody will have a car, but they've been parking basically on the one side where Chuck Dickey lives and all the way down, which is good. And then we went over to Carlisle. Now with Adam over there, everything looks good there. They're parked on where Drew Karras lives on
Yeah.
that side there. I've never ever seen a car on the other side at all.
Never have.
Maybe down across from yours once in a while.
Yeah, there's a no parking that side, there's a sign on that side, so no one ever does. Down towards my end, like the 300 block down there, no one ever parks on the road.
Right.
And on my side, there's that yellow curb which just needs repainted, you know, it's been like that, but it's all faded out now, but. we
So
don't need
signs basically in that area, we would like to have some put up along both of those. And
But
for the last,
by the group home, there's no signage, and they're, sometimes, they have that big driveway, like double or triple wide, they usually have that full, and someone catty corner in the grass, and then someone out on the curb or on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, the cops can, you know, attest to that, but we have no signage up there, so even if we wanted to enforce it one day, We don't have a sign up, so we gotta get a sign up.
We got signs ordered.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. And then last, we went down, what's the street?
Eleanor?
Eleanor.
Eleanor.
I mean, when we went down, when we talked to that girl,
Eleanor.
Eleanor, yeah.
Eleanor Street, yeah. We went down there, and she seemed to think, because we talked about going maybe one side with that too. But according to her, she would rather both sides because it does slow the,
Yeah, but you know, you could say that about every street though.
Right.
You could say that about every street.
I'll tell you, in the summertime, coming up there, I'm just waiting for a kid to dart out or a dog to dart out.
She also said she thought that the road was supposed to be one-side parking, because she said years and years ago,
Yeah,
that's
it
how
was.
it always was.
Those signs mysteriously disappeared.
Yeah, it was always one-side parking. And that one house, that one guy had a car in his driveway, I think 3 or 4 on the street. One house.
oh, he had two, yeah, he had.
Is that the house that's got the weight bench in the front?
Oh, no, that's further up. I know what you're talking about there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
know
up
what
on
you're
the
at.
100 block up there.
It's sort of catty corner from Johnny Wright's house across, not the first house, on the corner there.
Okay.
The next one down. The kid was from Bria. He
Okay.
does have a truck, his driveway's only, I think, as wide as that table.
Yeah, he's got a
And,
garage
but
that
then
faces
he
the
had
house.
two on the outside there.
Yeah.
But there were a couple of cars that were, on both sides of the road. So, I mean, we really didn't make a decision on it.
Well, you know,
But
if you're
I
gonna
know-
go down, and I'm gonna just say one thing. If you start on one road,
Oh, yeah.
you know, you're gonna hear it from somebody else on another road. And all I gotta say is, down that road there, and I don't wanna get involved with this, you know, this is you guys, but it's really getting very difficult, especially when buses come up through there. When you've got,
Yeah.
when you've got cars like they have it right now, it gets really, I go down that road every morning, and a lot of times I have to stop for people to come back up through there, and it's, you're gonna get a lot of pushback there, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you're gonna do it for one, you know, get ready to be consistent.
That's
That's
why
all
I'm glad that
gonna
Willie,
say.
Sachs and Willie talked, and Willie identified some of those other roads. So it's nice if we do it as kind of like a, village-wide effort where that we identify different areas that we want to clean up instead of just
Yeah,
picking
you
on
can't
that
just
one
go
road.
target one, because
Yeah,
that's not
right.
really,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah, but as Sachs said, their comeback always is, oh, we do this on purpose to slow cars down. It's like,
Yeah.
well,
Right.
We'll tell Willie to slow cars down.
yeah, well, that's not the way to slow cars down. And yeah, it benefits the few people who live on that road, but it inconveniences everybody else in the village who travels that road.
Yeah, like you
know,
say,
it's
the
not-
buses and everything
That gets to be a hassle, I mean, that really does.
Yeah.
Because I mean, where are the buses going to go? It's not like they
And-
can pull
and-
over, there's not spots.
And the
big
way,
enough
and the
for
way
a
they're
bus.
positioned at times, it's really bad. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is. You know, you're sitting there going, okay, if I go down, is he gonna come, is he gonna get behind that car so I can get up
Yeah,
there?
you wait thinking they're gonna go,
Yeah.
then you say, oh, they're not going, then you start to go, and they start to go at the same time, then you're both out there, and it's like, oh geez, so it's.
Well, and then
it's
the
just
other
a
thing
mess.
too with those people, the driveways are clear.
I know,
And
you know-
yet they're parked out on the street.
That's the only thing that really, you're exactly right. When you've got a driveway, come on, let's at least use
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
You know, let's at least use the
like I say, the
driveway.
one guy, I can understand him because he's got that little,
Oh.
but he could put one in and put one on the driveway, but the other thing that I talked to the police chief today, we're going to go out and around. The one street that really scares me, and is the one right in front of me, Helenka. I mean, nobody parks their car out on that road, nobody. They're all on one side, and then you got the other side goes down over the hill. That there is Devo Speedway. When they start off from my house and go down to my brother-in-law's, Frank Lavino's, I mean, I guarantee you they're doing 50 or more. And I saw a girl go by me on Bonita. She went by me, I screamed. She lived down 2 or 3 roads down that way. I screamed at her. I mean, she went by me, she had to be doing 50. Young girl. I mean, it was just unbelievable. But there are signs there for that road. There it does say down when you turn off from McClister, it says 25 miles an hour. I guarantee you, she doubled that easily.
I think we definitely need to make sure we have a lot of no parking this side of the street signs, and we need some 25-mile-per-hour signs, one on Eleanor at least. I'd say 2, one at the top of the hill. one at
Well,
the
you know
bottom.
what, Jody Lynn, I drove around today, and by Petrozzi's house, there was one for 25.
Is there,
And down by Benko's house, there's one on telephone pole.
Well, that's a homemade one though, isn't it?
Huh?
Ain't that the homemade one or is that a real one?
Yeah,
Spray
you're
painting.
right, it is a homemade one. You're right. You're right, I looked, stopped and looked at that
I think
today,
Benko
but it's
put
beautiful
that
though,
one
it
up.
looks good.
Yeah, I think Benko put that one up, I'm not sure.
But like I say, we'll keep a track with that, and I'll get with the police chief there and Adam and Jody Lynn, and we'll figure out places where we need some signs and that, where we feel the bad ones are. And I'm sure if you need to sit around somewhere besides the school area, I know you gotta do that.
Well, it's going to get even more difficult here if we don't do something, especially when inclement weather comes around, with snowplows trying to go through those places
Yeah.
and then trying to get people through those places. It's just going to get more troublesome. So just think about, we might want to move on this. Yes.
It'd be nice if we could kindly encourage the people to use their driveways. It's just like, hey, if you have one, would you please use it?
especially if we're gonna have inclement weather, to give the plows a
Yeah.
chance, because you can't expect our plow, this side then come back over here, and it's ridiculous.
Yes, Mr. Huggins.
You want to get the speeders, you can park right there beside the senior citizen center. They fly up and down Main Street and
They fly all over this
Yeah,
town.
but that's where you can order it out.
Seriously, it's a free-for-all out
that's our
there.
businesses and everything. I know, but you can sit there for an hour and then make tons of money for the village just by snagging these people up.
Speeding, does that come to us?
Speed down
Does
St.
that come to
Clair.
us, speeding?
And there's a stop sign, and they go through the stop sign, they speed
Oh,
straight
right there
down.
by your house.
Yeah, they speed, and I
I mean,
speed
I
on
don't want to
that
be
side,
known
I holler
as a
at them.
community that's,
They do
speed
not
traps,
stop,
but,
and they're going fast.
I wouldn't care if if you, put it out there, it wouldn't bother me none. What do you think, Mayor? I think you could sit at the top of McClister and pull a lot of people
Well,
over.
really, you could sit
Blows right
anywhere.
through
You
the-
could sit
Any
anywhere.
street in
That
this
stop
town.
sign up on top.
And burn the new one.
I'll tell you what, I go there through there 5 o'clock every morning, and I stop. I do. That's all I have.
I don't want to punish our citizens, but, I think that you might want to think about it a little bit, A lot of these folks probably aren't our citizens, that's the thing,
Right.
Coming out and going to the hill school or whatever else.
But then another thing is, most people know that it's only one officer out.
Yeah, I know.
So if they
Yeah.
see you sit down here.
Yeah, they know.
Up on the hill and do as fast as they want.
Hey, when I see you down there, I'm going up with Mr. 50 mile an hour.
No, but just keep up the good work.
Yeah,
Keep up
you guys are doing a great job.
I mean, like I say, it's just so positive right now, But you guys got a job to do. People got to realize that. So, all right, Jody, anything on service?
No, nothing this time there.
Adam, anything on street lights, curbs, sidewalks?
No report, Mayor.
Mr. Bertel, anything on water or sewage?
Just a couple things. I talked to Wayne today. One of his guys got COVID.
Well, Bobby has them.
Westfall has it. I guess.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, you can't say that,
clarify
yeah.
that. If you're talking about
Yeah,
an
somebody,
employee has it,
Employees
don't
have it.
use names. It's a HIPAA violation.
Okay.
All right, excuse me, one of our employees has COVID down the waterworks. Excuse me. Well, the hell on that. Mayor, under recreation, let's go there too.
Yeah.
I need to get some water put in that pool.
already working on it, Jack.
The gates are locked, which is great. Keeps them on the shutter house. Somebody keeps turning the lights on and
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a cover over that. I can't put a lock on it. Doesn't have anything at the bottom to put a lock on it at all.
well, sirens one.
I'll tell you what, I'm working from home, and that's all I hear during the day is sirens going on. Life flight flew over the house, I think it was Sunday night. And it's just, they're busy as hell. I can attest to the sirens that I hear.
Hey, Mayor,
Anything else,
I do have
Jeff?
a question for you.
Yeah.
The next meeting, we're gonna cancel next meeting?
I'm gonna get to ask you guys what you guys want to do on that.
What are we gonna plan on having in the year?
Year-end transfer.
28th. Monday. Monday, 6 o'clock.
What time, Jack?
6 if you can go there, get out of the way.
Robin Hood Day.
Robin.
Robin Hood Day.
Yeah.
That's Monday, right?
Yes.
28?
Yes.
All right.
I'm on vacation at this point. I don't know if I'll be going anywhere or not, but there is a possibility.
That's all I have, Mayor, under my section of the.
All right, thank you. Mr. Harry or Pat, anything on health and pension?
I have nothing.
Pat, on seniors?
I'm sorry, seniors?
Okay.
Well, I already gave my report. But I will contact all the women and let them know what's going on.
Okay, thank you. They'll probably be contacted pretty soon, no matter what,
Oh,
but, you know, it might take them a while to get to them,
yeah.
because everything is, like I said, backed up there, so if you could, that'd be great.
No problem.
Whatever, yeah.
BHJ, nothing to report. Jody, anything on economic development?
No, not this month.
Okay, and I'd like to appoint somebody on negotiations committee, which I'd like to appoint Adam and Jack. You guys willing? Jack?
I have no problem with that.
Adam? Okay. We'll get a letter out to, the safety, Mike, what's the safety?
What's that?
Your contract's up when, you know?
March,
Yeah.
In March?
March 31st, I think.
When's yours up there? Dave? When's yours up?
I think theirs is April.
April?
Somewhere around there.
End of April or the end of May, I forget which.
July,
It was late last, yeah.
July 10th, 2021. Communication work.
What's that, Dave?
Their contract is July 10th, 2018 to July 10th, 2021 communications. And yours is March, right?
March 31st.
I know I had a letter from the safety forces to open contract negotiations. So I'll get a hold of Kevin, is it?
Kevin and Todd, or no, Todd and Mariner,
Todd and Mariner?
negotiators, yes.
Ingram's the secretary. Okay. We have anything else? No audience here. And now I'd like you guys to make a decision on our meeting Christmas week. Since we're going to have a transfer on the 28th. I know it's probably going to be a busy week. Any suggestions? Open up comments?
So you're looking at the 22nd thing, what we want to do with that?
Yeah. All right. I think next week would be too early. We wouldn't have anything going on early.
If you're meeting, I think if you're meeting on the 28th, if something comes up, you can call the paper, notify them, that you can either make it a regular meeting or make it a meeting to consider just certain items. So you wouldn't, it's not that you couldn't do anything on the 28th, you just have to make sure that you notify the press.
You hear that, Jags?
That's fine with me. I'll send it to them.
Anything from council? Is that fine with you guys, or?
What, have council at the same time?
Well, Ernie said you got to notify the paper.
You're scheduling the meeting for the year-end transfers on the 28th.
Right.
Cancel the one on the 22nd, which is your
Right.
regular meeting. If something comes up and you have a need to deal with something else, you just notify the press that you'll meet on the 28th. But if you don't have anything come up, you just have the meeting for the transfers.
I mean, if you guys want a meeting on 22nd, you know, that's fine, whatever. I know people are probably busy that week. Right. I know, like, no traffic, restrictions.
Just COVID alone, I mean, I don't think
Yeah.
anybody would really have a problem with us not having a second meeting in December. That's my personal opinion.
Anybody?
That's
We're
fine.
gonna take after the 20th.
Something special comes up, we'll take
Yeah,
it out on
something real easy to
28th.
look at.
Yeah.
It won't be until January 12th in the new year, it'll be the first meeting of the new year.
You're not gonna meet on the 28th no matter what. Like I said, if there's anything that needs to be pressing there, you can talk about it. you know.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay, so the 22nd meeting will be canceled, and we'll have a meeting on the 28th,
28th. What time is the 28th?
6 o'clock.
6?
That's what you said, right, Jags?
Yes.
Jags, go back to you. Do you have any report on the budget or anything?
Everybody's got a copy, and they will transfer it on the 28th. I do need from Ernie about Mark's.
I got it here.
Deduction.
He's got it right here.
I got it right here.
Okay, can need that.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Jags, I'm not sure, but you may want to notify the Board of Elections.
Okay.
Does anybody have anything else?
No. When you open up like that.
I put an email here.
Yeah.
Do I have a motion to adjourn? Adam,
Second.
Second.
vote please. Third.
Good, you roll call that?
Or you just have like the attorney said. You don't do the second, right?
Eric?
Here, go.
Taylor?
Yes.
Marilyn?
Yeah.
Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Rebel? Baker?
I think they let some, I don't know, I'm not.